The Honorable Judge Porter is presiding. Court is now in session.
Hello, everyone. Please be seated. Thank you so much. Case number 2967.
All right, guys, this one's gonna hit hard. A man walks into court claiming he's a tenant, says he paid bills, fixed the place, even changed his license address. But the owner says she never rented to him, never met him, never gave permission. What sounds like a housing dispute is about to turn into a brutal lesson on assumptions, property law, and how fast confidence can collapse in court.
Something about a house. Can you explain this situation?
So I've been living at the property for about 4 months now.
Okay.
And I've been taking care of it.
Is this but this is a house, correct? Is it a house,
Yeah,
apartment? What is
it's
this?
an apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been paying for cable, internet. I just got my license renewed to that address. And I've been contacting Miss Watson over renting, because when we first got the property, I was gonna pay. And
This is where the first legal crack shows. He admits he moved in, paid utilities, but never paid rent and never had written proof. Here's the key thing. Paying bills does not create tenancy. Courts care about contracts and consent, not effort. Without an agreement, everything he's saying already sits on very thin legal ground.
You moved into this apartment. Miss Watson hasn't come by to collect the rent.
no,
You tried to make contact with her to collect the rent, and I gotta admit, I've never heard anything like this before. Usually it's first month, and people go on.
Notice how the judge slows things down here. For months, no rent collected, no paperwork, no follow-up. This story doesn't make sense legally. Judges hear excuses every day, but when basic landlord-tenant rules are missing, alarms go off. This is where confusion starts turning into suspicion.
I think around 4 weeks after I did the agreement at the beginning.
So she disappeared.
Gone.
Okay, there's something definitely missing. Miss Watson, I hope you can fill me in on the gaps here, because something like my grandma used to say, something in the milk ain't clean.
Man,
so
it ain't
please
clean.
explain to me, because
It's
I got a
not
feeling he's not telling me everything. So please.
He's not. First of all, he's a squatter, Your Honor. Okay.
Squatter.
I have not rented anything out to anybody.
That's something in the milk ain't clean line. That's judicial instinct kicking in. Judges listen for gaps, contradictions, and stories that rely too much on belief instead of proof. When a judge says this out loud, it usually means the story isn't surviving scrutiny anymore.
You do not have a rental agreement with this young man?
Absolutely not. Never met this young man, never had a meeting, never signed any documents.
Has he tried to get in contact with you ever?
No, he doesn't have my number. We never even communicated before.
Okay, hold on. Is that true?
That is not true.
Okay. Hold that thought. Continue, ma'am.
So I did go away for a few.
And here comes the shift. The owner flat out says he's a squatter. No agreement, no meeting, no key. Legally, that's devastating. Without permission, tenant law doesn't even apply. At this moment, the case quietly stops being about rent and becomes about unlawful occupation.
So in the midst of me being away, I was supposed to be getting it renovated to have renters, because it is my property. And then I started getting phone calls from the neighbors about wild parties, about all these things happening that I knew nothing about, because it's supposed to be empty while it's getting renovated.
Okay.
I return, I find him to be living in my property, on my property.
Let me ask this question. Do you have a copy of the rental agreement that you said that he gave you?
Not on me, unfortunately.
Okay, but
This detail matters more than people realize. The property was under renovation, supposed to be empty, and neighbors reported wild parties. That destroys any claim of implied permission. Living somewhere during renovations without consent isn't a misunderstanding. It's a serious legal problem.
let me ask you, how did you get inside the apartment?
Well, again, when I was going through the renovations and we were signing the agreement, the property, I had to go get my own lock, and there was none on the door. There was like I guess a key lock that you had to put code in.
A key
and
lock
it was
that had a
unlocked.
code, okay.
And it was unlocked. And
was
so we
unlocked.
just had to switch the locks over to the ones I bought.
Okay, the key lock that was attached to the door.
Yes.
It was unlocked, you said?
Yes, unlocked.
So there was a key inside that key lock, correct?
This is self-incrimination in real time. He admits no one gave him a key. He found a lockbox unlocked and changed the locks himself. Courts are crystal clear. You cannot create your own right to live on someone else's property. That single admission collapses his entire case.
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I don't know. I don't know what's funny.
I think this is hilarious.
Why?
You're telling this court that you signed a rental agreement.
Yes.
You didn't get an access to a key.
Yes.
You're telling me that you lived there for 4 months.
Yes, I've lived there for 4 months.
And that the renter did not come by and ask for monies.
When even the judge laughs and calls it the craziest thing she's heard, it's over. Not because it's funny, but because the logic doesn't work. Belief doesn't equal legality. Effort doesn't override ownership. The courtroom mood tells you everything you need to know.
Oh, to be honest, I don't care about the social media.
Okay.
That has no bearing on this case.
Okay.
She's talking about stuff that was damaged on the property. You know what she's talking about?
We did have an incident, and it was only for one party. There was not many parties.
Was the property damaged in any
No,
fashion
there was
or
only
fashion?
one thing damaged. It wasn't the property as a whole. It was an art piece, and I did say I would pay it back, but she never contacted me back about it.
Are you familiar with this art piece he's talking about?
I do have pictures of the art pieces and the damage.
Okay, no, I don't need that because he's already admitted that he
Okay.
did.
Then comes the damage admission, $7,000. At this point, liability is locked in. Even if he believed he belonged there, damaging property makes him financially responsible. Courts don't argue admissions. Once you say it out loud, accountability follows.
Damaged. How much did it cost?
This particular art piece was well over $7,000. Investment,
$7,000?
yes.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing. I know you're lying, and I get it. You're in court. You thought you can get one over. I get it. I get it. You're a squatter. You're a squatter. Call it what it is.
I
You're a
don't
squatter.
think I'm a squatter, no.
You don't think you're a squatter?
No, I don't think I'm a squatter, neither a renter, because I don't think a squatter would be paying cable, internet, and taking care of the property.
Okay, that's fine. You're paying you're paying for cable and lights and all that, and that's cool. Great. Good job. Here's the problem.
This is the legal knockout. Judge Porter explains it plainly. Paying utilities doesn't make you a tenant. Changing your license doesn't give rights. Without a rental agreement, tenant protections do not apply under state law. No emotion here, just clean, brutal legal logic.
Happened there?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit? All right. Before this day ends, all of your stuff will be removed from that location.
I don't.
Before this day ends, all of your stuff will be removed from that location. And that includes you, because if not, I'm going to advise her to contact the Mango Park Police Department.
Same day, removal. Police involvement. Arrest warning. This isn't drama, it's enforcement. Once a court rules unlawful occupancy, the clock runs out immediately. There's no negotiation left, only consequences.
Thank you, Judge Porter. I think he made a very, very fair judgment call, and I'm glad he found all the loopholes in his story, and I'm just glad that I finally got justice.
I don't even know where to go. I just don't think this is right. I think he should have listened to me more. I think I should have brought more proof. I don't know where to go. They're gonna take all my stuff. I just don't think it was.
And that's how this ends. One side relieved, the other completely stunned. No contract, no consent, no rights. The judge didn't guess. She followed the law. If this case surprised you too, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.
Honorable Judge Porter is presiding. Court is now in session.
Hello, everyone. Please be seated. We have case number 7309, Barry Condor versus Daniel Condor. Gentlemen, can you please come to the podium?
All right, guys, this one is hard to watch, but important. A father is in court trying to evict his own 45-year-old son, claiming decades of financial and emotional exhaustion. What starts as a housing dispute quickly turns into a brutal debate about responsibility, entitlement, and where parenting truly ends. Stay with this case, because what the son argues next will leave the entire courtroom stunned.
Is 45 years old, and to the best of my knowledge, in the last 25 years, he's never held a job for more than a few hours.
I'm sorry, did you say a few hours?
That would be about the maximum, yes, Your Honor.
You mean over the past 25 years, his work history equates to a few hours?
If you could call it a history, I guess, yeah.
Oh, wow. Please continue, sir.
This is the first emotional turning point. The father isn't just asking for eviction. He's explaining a lifetime of support with nothing returned. Legally, eviction cases are simple. Emotionally, they're not. The judge is now balancing property rights against parental guilt, and you can already feel where this is heading. But notice how calmly Judge Porter lets the story unfold.
It's unbearable. My wife is ill now. I'm getting up there in years as she is. The financial responsibility is killing us, and I want him evicted from the house. I want him to have responsibility for his own life and his own well-being.
Here's the real weight of the case: illness, aging parents, and financial collapse. This isn't punishment, it's survival. Courts don't exist to enforce lifelong dependency. They exist to define boundaries. In the moment the father says, "We've washed our hands," the case stops being about eviction and becomes about accountability.
I show here that you are filing a countersuit against your father for the amount of $50,000.
Yes, sir.
Emotional distress, clarify what that means, please.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, if you adopted a dog.
Now watch the tone shift. The son isn't defending himself. He's filing a countersuit for $50,000. Emotional distress. That's a bold move and legally a risky one. Counterclaims like this force judges to test logic, not feelings. And what he compares himself to next instantly damages his credibility.
You're stuck with that dog for the rest of its life, right?
Okay.
He decided to give birth to me, so pretty much him and my mom are stuck with me for the rest of their life.
Okay, are you adopted, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, so you are the biological child of Mr. Barry Condor and his wife.
Yes, sir.
Your mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, when you say they're stuck with you, you're stuck. They're stuck.
Comparing yourself to a pet? That's where this argument collapses. Children are not property. Parents are not lifetime caretakers of adult children. The judge is letting him speak, but make no mistake, this analogy is legally dangerous. Courts don't reward entitlement dressed as philosophy.
Stuck with you for the rest of their lives. What does that mean exactly, sir?
That means like taking an animal into your home, it's now their home too. So
Okay.
if they gave birth to me, right? I'm there, I'm in the home, that's my home too. I mean,
Okay.
God forbid, I don't want this to happen, but they're getting, like he said, up there in age. I'm gonna have the place anyway. So why kick me out now? In another 10 or so years, I'm gonna be living there myself.
Okay. Are you aware of the fact, since we're going to use
Now comes the disability claim. And this is critical. Judges take disabilities seriously, but they require proof, structure, and responsibility. What we're hearing instead is a story with no documentation, no treatment plan, and no effort toward independence. Sympathy alone doesn't override the law.
First of all, I'm not ill. Second of all, that would be murder, and then I would get the house anyway, so they know they're not gonna do that route.
Okay. You're aware that people bring pets into their lives for joy and pleasure to improve their self-well-being.
Well, I don't have like a lot of choices in my life anyway, because
This moment exposes the real motive. The lawsuit isn't about pain, it's leverage. Pay me $50,000 or I won't leave. That's not a legal claim, that's coercion. And judges see this tactic all the time. Once that becomes clear, The outcome is almost inevitable.
Sorry that you experienced that, but my question to you is, why are you suing your father for $50,000?
Because I don't have any money to my name. He's loaded, right? Him and my mom are loaded.
Okay.
And if they want me out of the house, they're gonna have to help me out a little bit. So I figured I'll leave the house, but you gotta give me at least 50 G's so I can go out and get a place to stay.
You're 45 years old.
Yes, sir.
You said you haven't worked since 2008?
No, when I had all those issues.
Listen carefully here. The judge draws the legal line. Adulthood begins at 18. Parenting does not equal permanent obligation. The son keeps arguing morality, but courts rule on law. This is the moment the case truly turns against him.
Like
Off
I
of their
should.
care, and you think that you're entitled to that.
I'm definitely entitled to it.
How do you figure that? Because they
Because-
brought you into the world and it's their responsibility to take care of you.
Yeah, like if you are married, it's like till death do you part, right? So,
You're not married.
Well, having a kid is.
And
the same
even
as-
if you were married, you still have the right to divorce that person and have that person out of your life. You are an adult.
This explanation isn't condescension, it's instruction. The judge walks through human development to prove one thing. Independence is learned, not gifted. And when someone refuses to learn it for decades, the law does not step in to protect comfort.
In middle school, you start to develop that skill set. You know what stuff is in the kitchen. You know how to feed yourself. By the time you get
45 years, Your Honor.
I do so much stuff around the
By
house.
the time you
I
get to
do
high
the
school, hold on. By the time you get to high school, you go out, you can start working, getting a job, learn how to drive a car. By the
did that.
time you are 18 years old, and in this state you are legal when you are 18 years old, as an adult, you are responsible for your own self. Now, granted,
You didn't fail, you failed yourself. That line ends the debate. Judges rarely say this so directly. This isn't anger, it's finality. At this point, the court is no longer listening for explanations, only enforcing reality.
responsible, you would not be in this courtroom asking that man to give you $50,000. And where do you have the audacity to sit there and drag your parents into court and say, give me money? He don't offer you he shouldn't be offering you a damn thing. You know what he deserves to give you?
What's that, Your Honor?
Love. That is it. And the last time I checked, love was free. It didn't come with a price tag.
Well, it ain't coming this way because he shows me no love. He doesn't buy me anything I want. He sits on the.
The moment he measures love in material gifts, the case is over. Courts don't validate transactional parenting. And when the judge references jail as a consequence, it's not a threat. It's a warning about what refusal to comply actually looks like.
And the joke said, I brought you in this world and I can take you out. Now, the funny thing is my mama told me the same thing and I learned to straighten up. Now, because you didn't learn to straighten up, that is on you. But guess what? Today, like my grandmother used to say, you gonna learn. Your case, your counter for $50,000, you are not gonna be granted that. The eviction notice, once it comes, you will be granted the eviction.
This case wasn't about eviction. It was about entitlement meeting the law. Judge Porter drew a clear boundary. Love is free. Housing is not. If this stunned you too, drop your take in the comments. Would you have ruled the same way? Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next Courtroom Breakdown.
I'm not sure about that.
Too, Your Honor. I
But
am
sir,
too.
your request has been granted. This case is adjourned.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank Judge Porter. I think he made a very wise decision. Apparently, my wife and I made a very poor one about 25 years ago when we let him freeload off of us. So much of this.
We have case number 8037, Vincent Jensen versus Alexandra Harley. If you're here, can you please come to the podium? Miss Harley, I apologize if I butchered your first name.
All right, guys, this one starts strange and somehow gets even stranger. A neighbor claiming emotional trauma, a woman saying she's being stalked, and a lawsuit that sounds unreal. But the legal consequences here are very real. What begins as awkward behavior quickly turns into something much darker. Watch closely how this courtroom flips the story.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, and Ms. Harley, ma'am, it shows that you have a countersuit for the amount of $5,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, sir, I'm going to start with you. What's going on here?
Sir, I have been caused an incredible amount of pain, anxiety. I'm triggered, and I have PTSD from this entire situation.
Okay.
We live in the same neighborhood.
Vincent opens by calling himself the perfect neighbor. But notice how his pain is centered entirely on rejection. The law doesn't punish feelings, but it does scrutinize behavior. When kindness continues after clear refusal, it stops being friendly and starts becoming legally questionable.
Being in an uncomfortable environment. And furthermore, she has gone out of her way now to get me evicted. All I've done is try to be nice. And now she wants to take my home away from me.
How did she go about trying to get you evicted, sir?
She's manipulating the homeowners association. It's the only thing it can do.
Okay. So the homeowners association they've told you that you got to go, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know?
Notice on my door.
Okay.
Pretty
How
much
do you
said
know
that.
that?
This is where Judge Porter draws a critical legal line: belief versus fact. Vincent assumes Alexandra got him evicted, but assumptions don't survive in court. Judges rule on evidence, not suspicion. This moment quietly dismantles the foundation of his entire lawsuit.
There's a difference. Now, let me ask you this question. I'm curious. You say that you had these offers to her. How long did you offer her your kindness?
Every day.
Every day? How long has she been living in the community? Give or take.
8 or 9 months.
8 to 9 months of daily advances changes everything. Repetition after rejection matters legally. What one person calls persistence, the law may recognize as harassment. This is the exact moment where sympathy starts shifting and the courtroom mood tightens.
Yes. He has been relentlessly stalking me ever since I moved in. He's been leaving flowers on my doorstep, incessantly asking me out. And, you know, I am busy. And so I would say no. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. He would just keep at it, just randomly showing up on my doorstep or inviting.
Alexandra finally speaks, and her account is detailed, calm, and consistent. Courts value specifics. Repeated invitations, unannounced appearances, ignoring no. That pattern matters more than intentions. This testimony reframes the entire case in seconds.
Hot out.
Really creepy.
I'm sorry.
Really creepy.
I'm sorry. He did what now?
He would walk around the front yard with his underwear on. And it made me very uncomfortable.
He walked around.
Okay, first of all, the boxer briefs. So
Hold on, sir. Hold on. You had a
shorts,
Sir,
essentially.
you had a
My
chance.
front yard.
The underwear detail sounds absurd, but legally it's serious. Targeted behavior that makes someone feel unsafe can support harassment claims. The judge isn't amused because public behavior combined with unwanted attention crosses into intimidation, not comedy.
I have an emotional support animal.
Okay.
I have a pet cock.
What?
A pet cock. It's a rooster.
You have an emotional
Support animal.
support animal.
Yes,
that's
I have
rooster.
anxiety and I
Okay,
have.
just so we're clear, in this courtroom we will refer to cocks as a rooster. So there's clarity on that.
That's
okay.
the official term, but
Now comes the emotional support rooster. And yes, it sounds bizarre, but legally, animals are property. Emotional attachment doesn't erase ownership rights. The court isn't judging how strange this sounds. It's judging who legally owns what.
But oh boy.
so
Yeah. Tell me about this emotional animal, support animal.
so my rooster was very close to me, and one day I let him free in the backyard, and I went to run some errands, and when I got back, Your Honor, the rooster was gone, vanished. And the only person that has access to my backyard is Vincent.
Okay.
This is the emotional breaking point. Alexandra believes her pet vanished, and possibly worse. Even without proof, fear matters in harassment cases. Courts look at how a reasonable person would react under these circumstances.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, no proof of that.
Okay, sir. Do you know anything about her rooster
Monster.
disappearing?
Yeah, he likes me better.
Do you know where the rooster is?
Yeah, he's at my house right now, chilling.
Why is her rooster in your house?
Because he likes me better, Your Honor.
But
I'm way
not,
cooler.
But the rooster is not yours.
Your Honor, if the rooster is still alive, why can't he give it back to me? Can
He
you
doesn't want
order him to
anything
give
to do
it
with
back
it.
to me?
Hold on. If I send the Mango Park Police Department to your town.
Vincent accidentally destroys his defense right here. He admits the rooster is inside his house. Ownership doesn't change because an animal likes you better. That single statement turns suspicion into confirmation.
This is easy. I already made my decision. The
How am I looking?
$20,000 that you requested, I'm going to deny that. We're throwing that out. You're not getting that. The $5,000 you requested, because I can imagine having a guy walking in front of your house in his underwear and also making multiple advances towards you, even though you told him no multiple times.
Judge Porter moves decisively. Vincent's $20,000 claim collapses due to lack of evidence, while Alexandra's counterclaim succeeds because repeated boundary violations cause real harm. This is the law protecting the person who said no.
I'm glad you brought that up. I am going to also have the Mango Park Police Department go to your residence with her, and you're going to present that animal to her. If you cannot present that animal to her at that moment, you will be arrested for theft. How much did that animal cost you?
$5,000.
Okay, so in
What if the
addition to
rooster doesn't want to go?
Hold on. So in addition to the $5,000 that you requested for...
Now the stakes spike fast. If the rooster isn't returned immediately, this turns into felony theft. Courts escalate quickly when orders are ignored, especially in harassment cases. This is where jokes end and consequences begin.
Yes, I have the animal. I've never claimed that I don't.
Okay,
he's just choosing to be there.
So that
It's his decision, not mine.
So that the rules are understood. Your $20,000 request has been denied. Your $5,000 request has been granted. Your 90-day restraining order has been granted. If you make contact with her within those 90 days, you will be arrested.
The case ends with a restraining order, financial damages, and police involvement, all because boundaries were ignored. If this case shocked you too, drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this. We'll see you in the next one.
Mr. Vega, good morning. Ms. Adams, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Vega, it shows here that you're suing for the amount of $150,000. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and Ms. Adams, you're suing in the amount, filing a countersuit for the amount of $1,500.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Vega, let's start with you, sir.
A man sues for $150,000 claiming a taco photo ruined his engagement, while the homeowner says that story is fake and the real photo tells a different truth. Watch how Judge Porter pulls apart the excuses, step by step, until the courtroom realizes this isn't about a dirty house. It's about getting caught.
What's going on here?
Yeah, so recently, Your Honor, I've been using this local service in Mango Park where tenants can rent out their homes for a period of time. And I spent a weekend at Miss Adams' place for a work-related thing. And as soon as I got there, it was a pigsty. I mean, there was like a shirt one place, a pants somewhere else. The pool was murky. The AC barely works.
$150,000 is not small claims energy, so he better have receipts, proof, and a clear legal reason. Right now, he's mixing two separate issues: property condition and personal relationship damage. Courts don't pay big money for embarrassment alone. If your case is emotional, you still need evidence, causation, and a real legal claim behind it.
And to top it all off, in the basement, the bathroom smelled kind of weird, which I found strange. And in addition to that, Miss Adams actually targeted and attacked me as well, maliciously and viciously.
I'm sorry. You said she attacked you?
That's correct.
Wow.
How did she attack?
He describes the place as a pigsty, murky pool, weak AC, weird smell, yet he stayed the whole weekend. That matters legally. If it was truly unlivable, the normal move is complain immediately, request fixes, or leave and document it. Staying quietly, then attacking publicly later makes the judge question whether the review was honest or revenge.
Well, you see, in the response to my review, my one-star review, she posted a picture of me with some random girl. And I don't know how she even got this picture, but it resulted in the end of my engagement. And I had to cut off all ties with my
Wait a minute,
fiance.
I'm lost here. Wait a
I'm
minute.
lost too.
Okay, when you say she attacked you, okay, because when I hear the word attack, I usually think something physical.
Here's the twist. His attack isn't physical. It's a posted photo that allegedly ended his engagement. That's a huge claim. For damages, he must prove the photo was false, harmful, and the direct cause of the breakup. If the photo is true, it's not malicious, it's consequences. So the whole case depends on what that picture really shows.
Found a picture online or something and she posted, okay.
I guess I ordered food one night and I ordered tacos. Somebody delivered tacos at one point, so it could be from that. So
the person in the picture you're saying was the person who delivered the tacos?
Yeah. It was just some random girl. But yeah. I had to call off my whole marriage is the point.
Just so I can, because I'm trying to picture this. The picture.
Listen to how the taco story gets built in real time. He's guessing. Maybe I ordered tacos could be that. That's not confidence. That's scrambling. Judge Porter is testing credibility. If your entire $150,000 claim is based on one photo, you should know exactly what's in it, who's in it, and why it was taken.
The picture that you said she posted is you receiving a food order from a lady delivering tacos.
Yeah, that's correct.
And that she posted the picture of you and the delivery person together in this picture, and that this picture was the catalyst to the destruction of your engagement.
You got it right on the nose. Yeah, that was her intent. I think she captioned it that I cheated on my fiance.
Is your fiance the jealous type? Because a picture of...
Not until then, and then apparently, I don't know, I guess.
So his engagement collapsed because his fiance saw him receiving tacos from a woman. Be serious. The judge's face says it all. This doesn't sound like a normal reaction unless there's more to the story. This is why courts hate vague explanations. When the reason sounds impossible, it usually means the truth is being carefully avoided.
At least $20,000. I had to cancel all our wedding plans. You know, I got a venue. I had to pay for photography, flowers.
So
that's it. But that's a lot.
The wedding itself was going to run you about 20 grand.
Around 20 grand, yeah, give or take, probably 5,000.
You know, tradition has it that it's usually the bride's family that pays for the wedding.
I probably should have pressed her on that a little bit more.
That's just tradition. I see you were doing it differently. And so this...
Now he drops the money number, about $20,000 in wedding costs, and tries to shift blame outward. But wedding expenses aren't automatically recoverable from a stranger. The court asks, why is she financially responsible for your relationship collapsing? If your fiancé left because of what she saw, the real question becomes, what did she actually see?
Hold on.
In regards to the picture, I don't know if this young man is going through some sort of cold feet in his marriage or, self-sabotage.
The picture of the delivery person.
There was no delivery person. There was no tacos.
And how do you know that?
Because I saw it on my surveillance. He was in the pool with a young woman that looked pretty romantic to me. I didn't see a ring at the time of this. I have to look into things like that to see who I am renting my property out to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what
Miss Adams changes the whole game. She says there were no tacos. She saw surveillance of him in the pool with a young woman, looking romantic. That directly contradicts his story. And in court, contradictions are deadly. When one side has, I saw it on surveillance, and the other side has maybe tacos, the judge already knows who sounds real.
Yes, that is correct.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let me try it this way. Give me a description of what was in that picture.
I was standing and I had...
What were you wearing?
It was I had a shirt on.
A shirt.
And pants.
Pants. Short pants, long pants?
They were short pants.
Short pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a bat. Oh, I had the tacos in.
Judge Porter forces a description of the photo, and he starts stumbling. Shorts, tacos, silhouette, shadows. That's a mess. This is a classic credibility trap. When someone lies, details get foggy fast. If the picture was innocent, he could describe it clearly. The more uncertain he gets, the more it feels like he's editing the story live.
Yeah, it was dirty. I thought the place was dirty when I first got there. Yeah.
But sir, what I don't understand is if it was not up to par or it was not up to your standards or what you expected, why did you not contact her during that time and says, hey, this is not what I paid for. What is this? That would have given her an opportunity to come over and fix what needed to be fixed, or would have gave you an opportunity to relocate to another place and get yourself a refund.
Mm-hmm.
This is the legal core. He never contacted her during the stay to fix anything. That kills the property damages angle. Courts expect you to mitigate, report issues, give a chance to cure, document properly. Instead, he stayed, then blasted her online. That looks less like a consumer complaint and more like a personal hit job after the weekend ended.
I don't understand because you do know this is being televised, correct? I don't know if you knew that or not. You know, when you signed the waiver, it was letting you know that this is televised. Okay, which means that your fiance is most likely going to see this. Her family is going to see this. Her friends are going to see this. You are calling your fiance, or former fiance, I should say, a liar. Oof. You're calling her not a liar. You're saying that she.
Judge Porter nails the real danger. This is televised. By calling his ex irrational and blaming women for his mess, he's burning himself publicly again. The judge is basically saying, you're still lying and you're still not taking responsibility. Accountability matters in court because it signals honesty. And right now, honesty is missing.
Reprimations of some sort. I still believe.
I understand. This woman here runs a business, okay? She can't run her business while she's in this courtroom because this foolishness that you brought to my courtroom, you're not upset over the conditions of the place. You're upset that you got caught cheating. And that's okay. That's okay. And if you want to sit here and continue to lie about it, that's fine. You've already lost your fiance.
And here's the verdict. His $150,000 claim gets denied, and he pays her $1,500 because the judge believes this wasn't about a dirty house. It was about him getting caught and trying to rewrite the story. That's why credibility wins cases. If this stunned you too, drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.
Ms. Fernandez, have you not been in my courtroom before?
Hey, twin. Yes, it's good to see you.
Ms.
How are
Fernandez, do you recall my rule about sunglasses in my courtroom?
That's still a thing.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
It's just, I have like a mic.
Depends on you 24 hours a day that it blinds you, but I need you to take those glasses off.
All right, guys. Judge Porter already sounds entertained, and that's never a good sign for the people at the podium. This is a contract fight mixed with influencer drama. One side says breach of contract and emotional distress. The other says she violated the deal and weaponized her followers. Watch how the judge turns this into a lesson about truth, business, and accountability.
In my courtroom at the same time, oh man, this is going to be good. Ms. Fernandez, it shows here that you're suing Mr. Lane for $50,000. And Mr. Lane, it shows that you're filing a countersuit for $3,500. Am I agreed? Oh man, I can't wait to hear it.
Before anyone even speaks, Judge Porter sets control. Sunglasses off, respect on. That matters because courtroom credibility starts with behavior. If you can't follow a simple rule in a judge's face, it raises a bigger question. How reliable were you when it came to following a contract?
Usual thing for me and my friends to enjoy, some drinks, some food, you know the deal, I'm sure. I know you get down on the weekends, right? No? So yeah, that was fine until it wasn't because
$50,000 versus $3,500 tells you the strategy. She's going big with damages. He's going narrow with costs. Big claims need big proof. Contract terms, breaches, receipts, and real harm. If this turns into my feelings versus the written deal, the paperwork is going to win every time.
writer was not there, and that just is
Okay,
basic.
what stuff was not there?
Well, we were missing a bottle of tequila. I wanted 2 bottles and I was only 1. I also
The writer argument sounds professional, but legally it only matters if it's clearly in the contract. Missing tequila, grilled cheese, and caviar. Funny combo. But the judge is listening for something else. Was it promised and was it paid for? If it's not written and itemized, it's not enforceable.
In the contract that you
that
can
was
invite
also in the
friends?
contract.
Okay.
And once again, he breached the contract and he was trying to charge some of my friends who were promoting his club to get in.
Wait a minute. So the friends, okay, so you're saying that there were friends allowed in the contract?
Yes, on the guest list.
And that he charged your friends. I'm assuming.
Here's the first major crack, the guest list. She says 50 friends were supposed to get in free, but she also admits a few more showed up. In contract disputes, a few can become the whole case. Because once you exceed the number, the club's obligation changes and the bill starts landing on you.
The parties that usually should be taken care of. So the security was kind of like lackluster. They weren't really helping me out. I didn't feel safe, for one.
Okay.
Especially around him, because he made some very suggestive comments to me and all my friends. Mind you, yes, we're beautiful and we're fun. I get it. Happens all the time. But also
Happens
after
all the time.
What?
Happens all the time. I bet.
You get, yeah,
I get it,
just he's snickering. Is that like allowed?
Yeah, I'll allow it for right now.
Anyway.
Now she adds creepy comments and trauma, which shifts this from contract to conduct. But courts don't just accept labels. They need details. What was said, who heard it, any proof, and how it connects to damages. Emotional distress is real, but legally, it's one of the hardest claims to prove without evidence.
To be popular, I don't know. Everyone wants to hate the star. I don't know.
Just so I can understand this, you're suing $50,000 for breach of contract, correct?
And emotional distress.
And emotional distress.
Because what has happened after hasn't been okay. He's been gaslighting me on social media for sharing my honest truth, saying that the whole fiasco wasn't my fault, when in fact it wasn't. It was his and his lazy team and his terrible management style. So, and the club was lame anyway. Like, I brought most of the crowd.
Okay, well, the lameness, we can't...
This is the influencer problem in one moment. I told my truth. The judge is basically saying your platform doesn't excuse incomplete facts. If you tell thousands of followers a business scammed you, but you leave out the part where you broke the contract, that's not honesty. That's manipulation, and it can damage someone's livelihood.
Okay, so let's start off. The first thing she said was that she was hired to host something. That's false. She is trying to implicate that she was hired to do a job. No, she's trying to have a birthday party, okay? And a glorified birthday party with all her friends, and tried to get the best for her buck, but pay the bottom dollar, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
We got protocols at the club, and you know this. We got VIP sections. Each section is intended to fit 10 people with 2 servers.
Vincent's defense is simple. This wasn't hosting. It was a birthday party dressed up like a business deal. Then he anchors it with structure, VIP sections, capacity rules, bottle limits. Courts love clear systems. If his contract shows 50 people and she shows up with near 100, the logic becomes brutal.
Not only did she have more than 50 people, she had close to double the amount of people, almost 100 people. So after the fact that we were taking numbers and getting all her people in there, she tried to sneak in an extra 50 people. And I said, listen, you can let them in, but I'm gonna have to charge them the fee just like any other person coming into the club.
To make up the cost.
Absolutely.
Okay, I understand that.
To make up the difference.
All right, well,
This is where the case flips fully. He claims she doubled the crowd and tried to sneak in extra people. That's not a minor misunderstanding. That's a material breach. In plain terms, you can't order one package, show up with 2 packages worth of people, then get mad you weren't given freebies on top.
The tequila that she wanted, well, that wasn't included in the original price, and she was unwilling to pay that difference to get that bottle of tequila. So that's the bottle that she's complaining about.
Okay, so just so I can understand, she did receive a bottle, but the other bottle, she had to pay for that.
Correct.
And she didn't want to pay for that.
Correct.
Does that sound accurate to you?
I mean, kind of, but like, that's not how this thing goes.
Okay, hold on.
The tequila dispute becomes the perfect example of contract math. You got what was included, but the extra costs extra. If she refused to pay the difference, she can't call a breach. The judge is tracking what's included versus what's requested, and that distinction decides who's being reasonable.
Out in the contract.
Why? That's so detailed. Why would I tell them that? I like
Did
to
you
keep
tell
things...
your followers that the VIP sections that you guys had were limited to so many people, and the items, because it was itemized, I'm assuming?
Absolutely.
It was itemized. Did you tell your followers that it were itemized? These were the...
Judge Porter's warning is the real lesson. Influence comes with responsibility. If you direct followers to leave bad reviews, you're not just venting, you're impacting income. And if your review hides key facts, that's unfair to the public and destructive to the business. The court isn't policing opinions. It's policing dishonesty tied to harm.
And I am not going to rule in your favor. You are not getting the $50,000. I am going to rule in his favor.
Thank you.
$3,500 for court costs.
You guys are
and
like in
time
cahoots.
lost.
That's crazy.
And I'm also issuing that you will make an apology to the Diamond District, and you need to tell your followers.
And that's the ruling. No $50,000 for Bianca, because the judge believes she violated the contract, then tried to spin the story online. Vincent gets $3,500, and the court forces an apology to correct the narrative. If this case shocked you too, drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom drama like this.